So let's move forward on techniques. What are the various kind of techniques? Even though we discussed the spectrum, now you look at some of these, and these are some 38 different methods, different kind of meditation you do. Visualization is one technique which is very popular because it's quite easy to do. You can do with some assistance. Guided meditation is a form of visualization that we do where someone tells you what to focus on and you are able to focus on the instructions given to you. The form of visualization meditation is light, where you can focus on light, visualize the light or coming to you. People talk about white light, blue light, uh, people talk about auras. So if you focus on light or visualize the light, you will be able to concentrate, meditate basically. Some of the techniques that you see are good to get you into meditation, but eventually you'll have to graduate so that you can move at a deeper level of meditative states. And why I'm saying meditative states is not because there are many meditative states, because that state we keep reaching and coming back. We will see that later, even though it is one state. Light meditation is one where you focus on light, visualize the light either going through your body or healing you or thing like that. That is one way of meditation. Imaginative, you imagine. That is what we do in law of attraction. Visualize your future. Visualize as if you have something. Visualize the future in current tense. This is what we do in law of attraction, right? So that is another meditation or law of attraction technique that you can use when you are meditating. Sharana mentioned, thank you Vikas, beautiful answer. That was extremely helpful. Thank you from my heart. Thank you to you too, Sharana. You're always so generous in the compliment that you give me always. Thank you so much for that. Coming back to what we were discussing on visualization. So imaginative is one technique where many people on law of attraction talk about visualize, imagine. So that is something you can use that will help you go further. Imagination, if you use only to get things like law of attraction, you're trying to get something, is then only help you get what you're trying to achieve. But if you use imagination to go deeper of understanding, go deeper to understand something, go deeper to realize something, you will see you are able to go deeper as well. That's using the connection that we have, the law of attraction, the vibration that we are, the energy that we emit, the frequency that we all operate on, and the paradigm that we have. We all discuss that in basics of law of attraction. And if you remember those, you would see how our imagination work, how our thoughts become reality. And imagination works the same way in meditation as well, because that is our connection, universal connection. Sound wave meditation, you can visualize sound wave. There are different sound meditation I'll cover in the sound part, where we are talking about the universal sound hertz, or brain wave frequency and thing like that. That is something you can do in sound, but then you can visualize sound wave impacting you. You play a sound, so it is a mix of two techniques basically. You play a sound and you see the sound wave healing you or making changes in you, basically using the sound wave to go deeper in the concentration. So you visualize while you play a sound or use a sound. Healing, many people use that, whether it is through light healing, a light coming and healing the body. Body scan is another technique that I've listed here. It's part of that. You can scan your body, get rid of all the joints you have, all the negative holds that you have in your body, the blockages you have in your body, and same with energy. So all these are methods of visualization that you can use either to make your body better or make your understanding better. One caveat here is when we are thinking about these techniques, types of meditation, each of the technique that I've listed, don't think that each of these techniques is going to take you there, but each of the aspect that I listed, which is categorization, visualization, sound, mindfulness, fragrance, they will take you there. At times you have to follow what you are able to relate to. I guess we have to go a little faster. We are at 1.5 hour mark. Um, so next one is sound. You can focus on sound of the world, the natural sound, the nature sound. Natural sound are any sound that are coming, microwave, someone playing, someone a river flowing, not river flowing, someone shouting, your TV playing, fan, AC, your dishwasher, sound of that. Any of the sound in the world, you can focus. You can start noticing what a different sound you hear. Sound of the nature is like the sound of the river, birds, um, um, the natural being, your own sound basically, which is the next level, which is the sound of your body. When you start hearing your sound of body, sound of your body, you will hear so many interesting sound, some funny sounds. You will be able to hear when you digest things what happens. You will hear that chemical reaction that happens in the body, with science are science described as the secretion of chemicals to digest things, the acid that we have. So our body releases acid to digest things, to dilute things, so that things can go in different uh, portion of the body. And you will be able to hear that. You will be able to hear your uh, heart rate or heart pounding. You will be able to hear your pulse. Um, there's so much sound in our body. But something that I personally do is sound of the soul. What do I mean by sound of the soul? Sound of the soul I describe as when you cut out all the sound of the world, of the nature, you will be left with sound of the soul, a sound that comes in silence. Then you will be able to see, or sorry, hear your vibration, which is the soul, which is something everyone talks about in law of attraction, but no one explains what it is. The soul, the life that we call, is a vibration. And that vibration changes based on how you feel, emotion, intentions. So you will be able to hear that. You will be able to hear many other sounds inside you. A method that I followed was basically putting earplugs in my ears to get to that level. And I actually followed some extreme methods, so I would not advise everyone to do that. But extreme methods help extremely. Let me say this way. I have actually spent days with the um, earplugs on without removing them, without having to listen to any sound outside. And I'm not saying you have to do that to hear those sounds. I'm just saying that at times when you go extreme, you get extremely uh, satisfactory results as well. But even if you just do a simple thing, just block your ear, you'll start noticing different sound in your body and in your soul. There's a sound of your a sound which is constant. There's a sound which is like the insect cricket. There's this vibration. You'll hear different vibration. You'll feel vibration on different part of your body as well. And then sound of the spiritual world. When you are connected to the spiritual world, You will be able to interact. You'll actually be able to touch, interact, hear. Many people ask what's the difference between imagination, visualization versus spiritual world. The difference, you know what is the difference? In spiritual world, you will be able to see the person, feel the person, talk to the person as you do in this physical world. Then people have another question. How do you know if it is not your dream? It can be a dream because dream sounds real. To that, my answer is, are you able to revisit the same dream and control dream based on your own thinking? Can you sleep and have the same dream and control that dream based on how you think? No. Then that's a dream. Reality, like this world, I know if I have to touch this laptop, I can touch the laptop. I can predict that moment. I do things deliberately. I decide what to do and feel. Like in the physical world, that is where you know it's the spiritual world, not a dream, not imaginative world. Like many times we say, oh, pinch me or hit me to see if I'm not dreaming, right? That is the difference. You'll be able to go to that state repeatedly, deliberately, which you can't do with the dream world. Comment. Jacob method was mentioned. What are these extreme methods? One of the methods I mentioned on of blocking my ears for a couple of days. In fact, uh, I have done my vision block. And again, please take it with caution. It is not easy, not easily advisable unless you are in that situation where you can practice some of these things. The easiest thing that you can practice, an extreme measure, is silence. Do that. Be silent for an entire day and do that for 1 month. 1 month in the sense one day in a week till a month, so 4 times, and then see the difference. You don't have to do too much. One day in a week for 1 month, which is 4 times, and you'll see those. Steve asked, what is the most popular? Most popular is silence when it comes to increasing your awareness, taking your mind from everywhere. But silence, even though is easier and popular, does not always get you result, because if you are lost in your thoughts always, if you are like daydreaming, it is not going to get you somewhere. You need to be aware. Initially you may be in daydreaming, but you practice silence for a longer time, you will get into a deeper state. But far more extreme methods are, say, acting as if you can't see, or blocking how you are hearing. Is So Jacob mentioned, is silence both talking and listening? Yes, silence, if you do both talking and listening, that will be nice. I would say they do one entire day, 24 hour in 1 week. If you can't do the listening part, at least do the talking part. I mean, control the talking part. If you can't stop other people from talking to you or doing things, at least be silent, don't respond. Say you are on a verbal fast where you are not able to talk for one day, 24 hours, once in a week. So silence can be used without talking and without listening as well. It depends on how extremely or how faster you want to get results, and you have to be cautious. I will not advise blindly. You will have to see where you are, your surroundings, circumstances, and everything, and then decide. But silence will help you realize so many things. Just not talking itself, but try to be aware of what you're thinking. If you are not aware, then it may not result in the benefit that you're trying to get. Lori asked if fasting is an extreme method. Yes, many people do fasting. That is another popular method. Now, something which is becoming famous is intermittent fasting. People do. Why? Because it triggers different reaction in body. It makes you healthier. The kind of food, the amount of food we eat is too much, is not healthy. I can give you my example. Currently, I'm not following that, by the way. I was able to reduce my food intake to less than 15% of what I used to eat in one meal. So I would eat twice or thrice a day, and let's say 100% meal is X amount of food. So I was able to eat, reduce my X into X minus 15. So 85% less food per meal, and still didn't happen to me. I took it to another level where I started only eating once in 24 hours. So the 15% of my one time meal, which is now like 5% of the overall percentage. If I'm eating thrice, so make it 300%. So X is 300% now. So I was able to eat only 5% of how much I used to eat in one day, and still the thing didn't happen to me. I did not feel drop in my productivity. I was in fact more active. I reduced my fat rapidly. I lost like 30 pounds in a month or so, and all excess fat, which I'm gaining again by eating more. Um, yeah, so there are some extreme things you can do. If fasting is another way. You can go on extended fast. But Lori, thank you for bringing the fast into my attention, because that's another thing I would say. If you can follow, please try to follow. At least do fasting, if not once in a week, once in 2 weeks. It'll help cleanse your body. It helps detoxify your body. If you are not able to do fasting as often or as much, try to go slow. Improve your timing a little bit over a period of time, and you will see the difference. Okay, so I need to move faster. I'm really slow. Uh, the next technique is mindfulness. Many people know about this, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, which is being in the now, is being in the present, not thinking about past, not thinking about the future, just paying attention to where you are. And that is really, really liberating. If you see, our mind either takes us in past, or takes us in the future, or takes us to an imaginative world. These are the three places typically it takes us when it takes us away from present. Either we imagine certain things which are not there and feel happy or sad about it, or we go to past and again be happy or sad about it, or go to future and be happy or sad about it. So being in present is really difficult but really important. That is one technique you can use. Noticing the nature, not paying attention to anything, what is going on in your life, just being among the nature, noticing the beauty around, noticing the beautiful pattern that you see in the leaves, on the trees, in the grass, in sky. By the way, if I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but if you look at the clouds, you'll see some beautiful pattern emerging every minute. Sometimes you will be able to relate with some shape or say, oh, it's like a human shape, now it is a dog, now it is an elephant, and things like that. I know I might be sounding really weird here, um, but when you notice things, you see things differently. So noticing the nature, similarly noticing your thoughts, what kind of thoughts you're getting, and then getting deeper into why you're getting some thoughts. Many people use a technique called lucid dreaming, where they try to remember what they dream. Because in dream world, we have a connection to our mental subconscious mind as well, mental world. And many of famous personalities use this lucid dreaming, including Nicholas Tesla, to gain certain perspective. Or mindfulness about the body part, focusing attention on body. Next is fragrance. You can have focus on many fragrance. You can use natural oils and focus on that. You can use nature, the smell that you get in the nature. You can focus on that. When I say smell in the nature, it is smell of the river, smell of the leaf, uh, anything. There's so much birds, different different things inside uh, our nature in the universe. You can focus on your fragrance. So focusing on fragrance or smell of the nature, you can perform meditation. Similarly, flowers, you can use different kind of flowers. You can mix up flowers. You initially won't be able to differentiate between the fragrance that you're getting. It'll be a mixed fragrance. Then you will be able to distinguish. Similarly, we can do with taste, which is not I have mentioned. But many people who are expert in taste, they sip a wine and they are able to say what the ingredients are. They taste something, they are able to say what ingredients are. You have to reach that level of observation, and that can be only done by attention. And then the spiritual fragrance. Spiritual fragrance is not just a fragrance when you are in the spiritual world. It is also something that you can even notice now. If you roll your tongue and touch the top of your mouth and focus your attention to top tip of the tongue, you will have that smell coming, a fragrance coming to you, a divine fragrance that you can experience even now, anytime. So fragrance is one kind of attention you can focus on. Verbal, where you use energized words or mantra or universal vocals, basically some sound. You guys would have heard of something like om, these sounds, they are universal sound. There are some energized words as well. There are some sound you can make like a bumblebee or bee. Those sound actually help you meditate as well, focus on something or focus your attention. Mantra, of course, there are different mantras, different words that you can use. Different religion have different secret text they call. You can use that as well. So that is one level of focus. Many of the religious people focus on that. They use this method of meditation because, trust me, even worshipping is a level of meditation, a kind of meditation. Going to actions, yoga. Yoga is not only mind, it is body. It is a Hindi word which means to combine, to join. So it is a mind body spirit connection that yoga talks about. Worshipping, like I said. If you worship now, we looked at earlier we talked about the verbal connection of worshiping by using energized word or sacred word. Action, when you actually are lost in worshiping, you don't pay attention to where you are, you have that connection established to the Almighty, you can do that. That is one kind of meditation. That is why people who are religious also are able to make progress. Passion, following anything that you are passionate about. It could be any of the activity. Similarly, like dancing. Dancing is really helpful. There's dancing, and there's something called dance for, uh, again, this is different way of doing thing for the creator, for the God. You can use different ways, but you get the idea. What I'm trying to say is you can focus on these. You can be focused on your passion, which is painting, music, or writing, or anything, and that is actually helping you keep attention and help you go into deeper level of understanding, deeper level of um, meditative state if you are able to get deeper. Basically, that is useful. Like dance, even for a walk. Walk can be some action where you are mindful about everything. You are only focused on the walk or thing around you. That will help you pay attention. So idea is to pay attention and concentrate and not let your mind get away from there. Vision, there's so much that happens on vision side. Our sound and vision faculty or senses are the widest faculty we have. They are far more stronger, and most of the information we receive is through eyes and ears. So watching an object, you can concentrate on an object, or you can concentrate on a blank, not watching anything, not paying attention, but paying attention to the blank. Similarly, you can focus on a point, a particular point, a body point, you can say, or some dot. You can focus object, you can focus on anything like a tree or something in your house. You don't have to go out all the time. You can focus on a flame. Many people do meditation with a candle or lantern or anything. You focus on that light, or you do blind watching, something I call, which is when you close your eyes, you see things, or you will see many things. You'll see lights, you'll see a different color of rainbow, or rainbow rather, rainbow itself by the way signifies different colors, but different smoke, different color of smoke. uh, you will have a numerous or innumerous possibility, I would say. Blind watching, when you close your eyes, you will see and you focus on that. And yoga, I wanted to keep it separate because yoga is far more greater than people understand, but at the same time, like meditation, they have come up with variation of yoga which actually complicates things rather than simplify things. Yoga, simply put, is body mind spirit connection, like we do have in meditation. Kundalini yoga is one of the thing that is pretty famous. People talk about that. Kundalini is basically the connection between various chakras that we have, or plexus that we call. So when you are able to activate all the chakras, your Kundalini is awakened. That's how they call it. Chakra meditation, you focus on each chakra, different chakra, all the chakras. You can do meditation on that. Hatha yoga is basically a form of yoga which is based on postures, so physical postures. So there are different asanas or things that you can focus on, and do meditation on. Ashtanga yoga is eight limb yoga, is known as eight limb. Basically, it is a form of yoga which is prescribed to reach the ultimate stage in meditation, which there are 8 steps. We can discuss that sometime later, but these 8 steps can help you get to the deepest level. Um, then there are Kriya Yoga. Kriya is action, Gyan Yoga is which is your knowledge, and Bhakti which is devotion. So you can do practice these yogas, and you can find the information out on the internet everywhere. My focus is basically to give you that there are different ways you can follow to concentrate and meditate. Um, and again, this is not a comprehensive list, even though I have one more slide on this, which is um, getting a little deeper on each of these, which we already discussed, like sound of the world, action, vision. We discussed that, so I'm gonna skip through these slides. Um, Visualization, mindfulness, and verbal is something that we discuss. Fragrance also we discuss, and yoga, which is mind body spirit connection. So I guess we have discussed all of them.